going on, everybody? Hey guys. Oh, the
daily
doses
of
the
Eve
on.
Brainwave. So for today's episode, we have two very special people. One talking about their sportsmanship, their goatmanship, their MVP-ship, and one speaking about how her experience has been traveling from Spain to America.
So we'd like to welcome
Gregor Brockman.
So Gregor, what sports are you good at?
I'm pretty good at all sports, but the two I play for the high school are wrestling and cross country.
Okay. How has your journey been juggling wrestling and cross country?
That's a great question because the sports are very different and it's kind of hard to compare them, but when preparing for them, they have actually a lot of similarities. For instance, when I wrestle, I need a lot of stamina and a lot of strength. And for cross country, I need the same. It's just they're very different forms of those two things. For instance, when I run cross country, I need a lot of strength and stamina in my legs and my core. And that's the same with wrestling, but the difference is I have to run for a lot longer than one of my wrestling matches. So for my workouts, I'll do long runs and track workouts so I can focus on my breathing and just running for as long as possible. However, for wrestling, I really need to work on being fast and agile. So I'll be in the gym a lot more. I'll be really just working on weights and really more technique rather than full-on stamina, because by the time I get to the wrestling season, I have a pretty good base from cross country for my stamina.
Wow, that was amazing, Greg. Going on to our next question is, which sport to you is more important?
That's a tough question because I've been doing cross country for 4 years now, and I've grown to really love that team and love everyone on that team. And I've only been doing wrestling for 2 years, but I've really fallen in love immediately with everyone on that team and the sport itself. So I don't even know what I would say, because on one hand, I've really grown to enjoy running, because for my first couple seasons, I didn't love it, but for this last season and the season before this, I've really grown to enjoy it and really grown to actually try my hardest and practice my hardest. Whereas in my first couple seasons, I was really just doing it for credits and to be with the people on the team. And for wrestling, I really just enjoyed it right away. I think that it's really one of the only sports that I really, really enjoy, and I really just have a great, great time doing. And so I don't even know if I could tell you which one I liked more, because they're both so special in their own ways. And I really couldn't choose which one I would go without or like more.
Okay. That's okay. Since our brainwave today is Brainsgiving, what is something you are thankful for or positive/negative takeaway from each sport?
Well, one thing I'm thankful for both of the teams and both of the sports are the people on the teams, especially the coaches. For instance, the cross-country coach, Coach Glennon, he just led us to our 3rd state title in a row, which is really impressive, and he's a magnificent coach because he's picked me up when I was at my lowest, and he's motivated me to do my best throughout everything, so I'm really thankful for him. And Coach Brandon, my wrestling coach, he's just a really cool guy, and he's a really great coach because coming into wrestling, you just know nothing, and it's impossible to know anything. But he somehow managed to teach me so much in just my first season that I was really amazed on how much I learned and how much I really improved in that season because of him. And so I'm really thankful for him. And finally, I'm also thankful for both teams because everyone on those teams is so kind and so respectful. And I would not be the person I am today, and I would not be the athlete I am today without them.
Well, shout out to the coaches. It seems like they make such a big impact on the students and the athletes and just building you up to be the best that you can. Our last question is, what did you improve on in these sports, or what were one of your struggles that now you've overcome?
Well, for cross country, I've improved vastly on my actual ability to run, because when I joined as a freshman, I was not the best runner. I was in not the best shape, and throughout my years of this sport, I've gotten a lot better, and it has really made me a much healthier person overall. And for wrestling, a struggle I had for wrestling was really just not fully understanding any of it at first. And of course, that's the same with running, but for wrestling, there are so many little intricate details. It's very difficult to understand. And I think overcoming that and really learning the sport and learning how to wrestle has really helped me. And more than just wrestling, because it taught me that if I really set my mind to something, even if it feels impossible and it seems impossible at first, I can learn it and I can improve at it, and that's really helped me. So that's something I've overcame and somewhere I've improved.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Gregor, for coming
you.
onto the show and explaining your, sports that you play and like what you like about it and everything. Next up, we're gonna have a PSA of Angela talking about sexism.
My coach told me that I play ball like a girl, and I told him if he practiced more, he could too.
There have been civilizations in the past where incredible women ruled. In those times, goddesses of femininity were worshipped. This was matriarchy, but it fell, and patriarchy took place because femininity was just too dominant, and masculinity felt depressed. History does repeat, because now femininity is being oppressed, and now masculinity is dominant. This is revealed in everything, to the workforce all the way to everyday life of women. For example, in Gaza, over 2/3 of those killed and injured during Israel's offense are reportedly women and girls. Fact 2. A woman has to work twice as hard at the same job a male does, and this does not even involve skin color.
Howdy, my name is John. I'm from New Hampshire, and I'm here to win this job promotion.
Hello, my name is Samantha. I'm from Dominican Republic, and I'm here to win this job promotion.
Furthermore, having the same exact job and position as someone else, but your gender differs from the other, gives unequal pay between women and men.
Ready, set, go!
Fact 3. It's impossible to talk about the women's rights movement without talking about racism. At least 19 countries, including the US, once restricted women's rights to vote based on factors like race.
The results are in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tiebreaker. 392 points. 392 points. The winner who gets all of the money is John! Yes, yes!
Untreated mental illness in your children can actually affect them later in life. This can affect your child's performance in school, homework, extracurriculars, and more. You might have heard yourself or your parents or just someone or an adult saying this to you or someone else you've known. Stop being so lazy, or you ignore everything and everyone around you. Stop sleeping so much. This could be signs that you or they are ignoring someone else's mental health. This can actually decrease it. And on top of that, this could affect them later on in life. It's best to seek a professional for help and strategies. Did you know that 80% of 18-year-old women actually don't get diagnosed with autism until later in their teens or young adult life? Studies have shown that they have fallen behind in grades and extracurriculars because they didn't know how to cope. Help your children by giving them the strategies they need to be successful in the future.
And now beside us is a very warm-hearted special guest, raised and born in Spain and came from America.
Hi, I'm Monica and I'm from Spain.
Okay, the first question we have for you is, how long have you been living in America?
I have been 2 months and some weeks.
Do you like it here?
Yeah, it's different. Like compared to Spain, it's different culture. So, but yeah, I like it.
Our next question, going more into your high school life and how school is. What do you like about BHS?
I think, for example, in Spain, they are more strict and they don't let you like have more liberty. And here, like you have homework and that's not so fun. But the teachers are more fun with you. They talk with you. They talk with you like you are people, not just only students. And I like that, yeah. For example, here you have a cafeteria, and I love that. Yeah.
Okay. To go into like when you said like it's different here, what's the difference in America and Spain?
I think, for example, in Spain we are like more open. We talk with everybody. Here, I think it's more introvert. The people are more introvert. They don't talk with other, or it's difficult to make friends. So I'm used to talk with everyone and touch them and give hugs and kisses. And here, I think it's different. So, yeah.
No, and I agree with you 100%, especially like in the Hispanic culture, everyone's so like,
Yeah.
oh, give me a hug, you know, that un besito. But it's totally different here in America, and just learning boundaries is something different, because when we're at home, it's like everyone is just on top of each other. But yeah, another question now that we're in this era of holidays and Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah. What are holidays that you celebrate in Spain that you don't necessarily see something big here in America?
I think, for example, here in America, they celebrate like Christmas, like Santa. But in Spain, we have two, like the Three Kings. That is like Christmas, yeah. But it's in January. And we have 1 week in April that we don't have school and nobody works. And it's like every part of Spain celebrate their country. They're like, for example, they eat with the family the whole week. They do activities like, yeah, the Spanish things, but not too much. It's like this other holidays is like here. So.
Okay, to go back to America, do you like the American food?
No. I think I'm used to Spanish food. It's not bad. Obviously, it's not bad. And people from here, they probably say that American food is good. But I'm used to beach food, for example, or I don't know. And I think here's like hamburgers and pizza. And I like that, but not all the days. I'm from Spain, but I really like the Italian food. And I think here they don't have too much Italian food. But
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I definitely agree.
Yeah, American food like burgers and pizzas and fries.
Plain.
It's just plain. I feel like we got to show people that there's more to the world than just burgers and fries and pizza.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Okay, well, thank you, Monica, for coming on to the show and talking about your experience in America. I hope you enjoy it and get used to it a little more, and I hope the food changes. But we will now like to go. Oh,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You kind of stole my thunder.
oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Next, we have a PSA about sleep by Amelia and Willie.
Wake up. We're in school, not your room.
I'm tired.
You're tired because 70% of teens don't get enough sleep. Teens who don't get enough sleep have higher risks for many health problems.
I have insomnia, means I can't fall asleep easily.
That's caused by teens naturally falling asleep late and waking up late due to hormonal changes. Obligations like early schools, homework, extracurriculars, and social activities can make it hard for teens to get enough sleep. This means if a teen has to wake up early for school or work, they would be tired because they fell asleep late. Or maybe they have homework but have no energy to do so because they didn't get enough sleep.
Teens from ages 16 to 18 may suffer from drowsy driving because of sleepiness. Also, studies show that sleep deprivation can reduce reaction times and produce similar reactions to a drunk person.
I'm sure glad my great-grandpa made this base.
Nuclear attacks are dangerous. According to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, the Earth is on brink of atomic disasters. Radiation from the nuclear attacks is dangerous to humans, and the climate thermal flashes can ignite fires. The explosion can be devastating, destroying everything up to within a 6-kilometer radius.
My great-grandpa passed down generations of facts about nuclear fallout shelters.
The nuclear fallout shelters can protect from the most harmful effects of nuclear explosions. How to find a fallout shelter near you? You go to fallout50.com/fallout-shelter-list/Boston/.
And now we have a special guest, an open letter to Big Night Live from Blake.
Hi, I go to a lot of concerts, and I like to think that I know a thing or two. Big Night Live is a venue that has become popular recently. It's located right at the North Station T-stop right next to TD Garden, and so a lot of people have been coming there. However, it's awful. To give you an idea of the vibe of Big Night Live, it's trying to be a trendy sports bar with arcades that has a club feel. It's all one big open space. It is weird and terrible for the purpose that they use it for. One positive of it is that since it is one big open space, it has a wider stage, meaning there's more room at Barricade, which is something that can make a big difference in experience for fans to get to be that close. The shows I've seen there are, I saw Palais Royale there, I saw Lovely the Band there, and I saw IDK How there just this past Friday. Now, one of the most immediately obvious problems with Big Night Live that you will encounter is the mixing. Mixing is the level of volume and the way things sound through the speakers. Now, I don't know what the problem was, or it was the sound engineer's first day, but when I saw Lovely the Band, they were real enthusiastic about drums. All I could hear was the drums. Other times, they'll really love vocals. It really changes from person to person. Sometimes backing tracks will be way too loud. Sometimes the bass is turned up so high that it just glitches out. It's an experience. speaking of glitching out, there's constant equipment malfunctions. When I saw Lovely the band, the whole time the speakers at the front of the stage were actively smoking, and I could smell and see the smoke. You can also see throughout the set musicians looking side stage and going, more so than in a regular concert. Something you might also see at a regular concert is musicians wear these things called in-ears. That means they have a specific track that they're hearing that is different from everybody else to help them play. Now, sometimes musicians will take their in-ears out or just one out to hear the noise of the crowd and maybe take a sentimental moment to go, wow, they really love this song. However, when every musician does it multiple times for an extended period of time, that means that the mix for their in-ears is either throwing off their playing or is so messed up that it's hurting their ears. So even if you can't see that malfunction from the crowd side, when you know what you're looking for, it is obvious that it is impairing the performers. Another way that they impair performers is their habit of double booking nights. This has happened to me 2 times now. They will have a main concert that opens doors ridiculously early at like 5:30 p.m. and then at 10:30 p.m. have another concert or Charlie party where they play Charlie XCX music, but she's not even there. However, booking these 2 events so close together means that performers don't have proper time to set up, which often leads to having to share drum sets, not being able to complete a proper encore, skipping songs on the set list. And afterwards, the fans are completely rushed out by security before they have any chance to talk to anybody or buy any merchandise. It's very clear that they want you out of there as soon as possible to make room for the next act, to pump as much money out of that night as possible. Also, an example of this, when it's not being directly mentioned that, oh, let's just pretend we did an encore, was I'm one of those types of people that I like to talk to the band afterwards. And one of the ways you do this is after the show, you see where their bus is and you hang out for a bit, and it's usually an hour and a half, 2 hours of the musicians, getting ready, washing up, relaxing, and then they will come out and go to their bus. And there's a group of people and you say hi, and if they don't want to, then they don't say hi. It's normal, it's chill. However, the few times I have done this at Big Night Live, they have come out in 30 to 45 minutes, which is not an adequate amount of time to pack things up and properly decompress after a show, and you can tell. Other smaller gripes I have are their security. I recently lined up and camped out for a concert for 4 hours, and in this time we were actually not allowed to form a line until an hour before doors. Doors is when they let you in, but before music. And there was a security guard that was actually very nice in that time, but once we got inside finally, after finally being allowed to line up and stop loitering in the cold, in the line you weren't allowed to sit down, but the security inside was much more hostile and clearly did not enjoy the line of work that they were in, and was very aggressive about everybody just moving as fast as they could, and again, getting on with it, more so than in other venues. I also question how VIP works in that, because 2 of the concerts I've been to had a VIP section. VIP usually occurs in a separate section of a venue, and has things like a meet and greet line for photographs. They do VIP at Big Night Live, but it's all one big room. So I live in curiosity as to how that works. Do they have people just line up on the floor? What is going on in there? I'm so curious. I am planning on asking some connections I have with other concert goers what their experience there has been like, but I hear resoundingly negative opinions from every encounter I have there and every person I know that has gone to other concerts there as well. So please fix this, and bands, please stop performing at Big Night Live.
That's it? Okay, well that's it from Blake. And now that we have our PSA money by Yenshi.
On average, solar panels cost from $15,000 to $22,500,
No, I
and
don't
the
like it. I
average
just said
output of solar
why.
panels are 15
Yeah.
watts per square foot, with panels between 150 to 370 watts, Within solar panels, the best type of solar panels are monocrystalline, with a typical rating of 320 to 380 watts according to MarketWatch. Monocrystalline are also the most expensive, costing an average of 0.75 to $1.5 per watt. For solar panel systems, the increase of 1 kilowatt will increase the annual energy production and a 0.96 repeat tons decrease in carbon emissions. According to the United States Energy Information Agency, the average home uses 899 kilowatt hour per month. Since all these data for solar panels are averages and from lab conditions, so do your own research and see if solar panels are right for you.
Okay, that's it for today. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Hope you guys have a good week and stay tuned for another episode of Daily Doses with the Ease. See you later.
Bye.